Hello and welcome to another episode of Cards Unbarred. My name's Ryan, and in this video, I'm going to show you the solo variant of Eternal Decks. Now in the past, I have shown you an unofficial solo variant, which was something I pretty much came up with on the spot to allow you to just show you what the different stages look like. In this video, this is the final production copy. In those previous videos, I was using a pre-production copy, and the official solo rules were not completed yet. They were still being worked on. But we wanted to show you how the different stages worked, and the best way to do that when it was just me was to come up with something that allowed you to at least show you what a two-player game looked like with that weird strawman deck. But now I'm here to show you what the official solo rules would look like using the story mode. So the biggest difference, which in the box itself, it does come with this little pamphlet here, which gives you all the rules for solo play. And then there's this sheet that you're going to fill out information as you complete the different stages, because the story mode through solo play has you playing all 5 stages A, B, C, D, and E in a row. There's going to be some permanent changes you might be making to your starting deck or to some of the Eternal decks, and there's some stuff that you can upgrade for your communication discs. One of the biggest changes in the solo play is your communication discs aren't communication discs anymore. They're actually golem discs that they're going to use to allow them to do some type of ability. Each golem has a starting setup or starting ability for their token, as you can see on the sheet here. But like for example, Golem Alpha lets you draw 1 card from your deck and add it to your hand. Beta is give a card from your hand to another Golem. And Gamma is play a card ignoring all curses. So you're going to get your 2 communication discs, and you get to spend the disc for whichever Golem it is to activate that ability. Throughout the campaign or story, I'll probably interchangeably use those words, you can upgrade what your disc can do, either giving you different options for it or upgrading current options that you have that are available to you. I'll explain how those upgrades and everything else works a little bit later, because we won't have the ability to do any of that until at least after stage A at the earliest. So we'll go in more detail on those. The way I'm going to handle these videos is I'm essentially going to just split it into 5 parts. This video is going to be teaching you the solo play, what's different about it, and playing through stage A. And then the other 4 videos are going to be the other 4 stages. So at the end of this video, once we hopefully complete the stage, we'll go over how scoring works and how potentially upgrading things will work. The one thing I do want to go over now, though, is there's an additional action that is available to all of the golems. So I guess actually let's take a step back here. There are the 3 golems. There's Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. These are the 3 characters that essentially you're going to be controlling. So it is a solo play, but everything gets set up as if it was a 3-player game. The 3 different golems are essentially 3 players that you're controlling, all 3 of them. So we're using the 3-player jewel card. If there's any stage that has 3-player setup, like for example, the Gatekeeper stage, you'll put those 3-player cards in there. So things like that. There are some changes to some of the stages, which I'll go into detail on that stage itself. For stage A, the only real difference is going to be the ghost ability. Whenever you play the ability card, instead of showing your hand like you normally do, all golems will get to draw 1 card from the top of their deck. So beyond that, the main rules for stage A haven't really changed, except for the one rule across all stages. On top of completing the normal way to win, so in stage A, we need to get 4 out of the 6 stars to win. In the story mode through solo play, you also have to generate all 6 jewels from the jewel board. Stage E is a little different, but we'll get to that down the road. But for us to successfully complete stage A, we need to generate 4 of 6 jewels and gain 4 out of 6 stars, mixing up all my words, 4 out of the 6 stars, and generate all 6 of the jewels. Once we've done both of those things, then we've successfully won. So even if we get all 4 stars, we keep playing until we generate all 6 jewels. You can get more stars, but after you get 4, it isn't really going to do anything. So those are the biggest changes for now. Again, I'll go into more specifics on some of the other ones as we get into those stages. So I think for now, we can just go ahead and get started. The other thing actually to point out, that sheet of paper that you're going to be filling out, you can print out extras in case you don't want to write on the actual one that comes in the official game. I will put down below in the description the link on how to print out an additional sheet so you can write on that. And I've laminated mine, so I'm just going to be using a dry erase marker, and then I can wipe it away once the campaign's over. Actually, one last thing I do want to mention. You'll probably see as I start reviving the Eternals, when I flip them over to the other side, it's probably going to be hard to actually see in this video, but these are going to be the special cards that came with the Kickstarter campaign. They just have shiny foil on them. The ones, if you didn't get, are just going to be the regular cards. These ones are a little bit thicker stock and have that shine to them. The regular ones are just going to be the regular cards. Functionally, they're the exact same thing. It's just these have the fun little shine to them, which, again, I don't even know if you're going to see that well on the camera. But I just wanted to point that out in case it does come across and you think why that has a shine and yours doesn't. All right, with that, let's get underway. So you always start with Golem Alpha. They are the first player, and then you go clockwise from there. In this case of the video, I'm just going to go up and then down, and we just keep going until we win or lose. I didn't explain the store a card action, which I think I'm going to wait until I actually do that action to explain in detail. But essentially, there's a fourth action that's available to all golems that they can only take once per stage. I am going to have to pay attention to which number I'm going to do with each golem and remember to do that, but that is something that you can do. So we have Mountain for the ascending. We have Riverside, which is odd cards only, and Forest, which is no consecutive numbers. So we want to think about, we have 1, 2, 3. We could probably start the 1 here. Oh, the other thing is we are playing this on expert mode. It is highly recommended the first time you play through the solo story mode to do it on standard mode, but I was told by Hirokin, the designer of the game, that I should show off expert mode so you can see what that looks like. I've played this game quite a few times now, so hopefully I don't mess up and lose, but I will explain what the rules are if you do end up losing one of the stages, what would happen with that. Hopefully I don't, so I don't have to fully explain it, but if I don't, I'll explain it at the very, very end. So I think we're just going to start out nice and simple here, and we're going to put a 1 in the Mountain. We will then draw a card, and Golem Beta is up. I'm probably just going to say A, B, and C, or A, B, Y. I probably will stop calling them the full names as we play through. But we do... Okay, we got to remember, we're back on stage A. Stage A is generally the easiest of the stages, so I shouldn't think too hard on what I do, but I have to remember I need to get all of these. This is a big difference between the normal stage A. Generating all the jewels is something you have to focus on. So I really want to get this 159 as early as possible, since this one can always be one of the trickier ones, and the king is always a perfect character to grab for the 159. The Minotaur is also a good one as well. I think they don't have a 3 in their hand. We do have a 3 here. They could end up being the ones who complete this row and get them that card. So maybe we'll do that. Then we have to think about, what we want to do for the middle rows. Which of the golems is going to get their deck next? Because they're going to run out first if we made yellow get new cards. But I think we want to probably start odd numbers, because we've got a bunch of odd numbers out now, and we have more of those than even, so we should be able to complete this pretty quickly. We'll do the 5, because we're going to do the 4 there. So we'll play a 5, that'll come back, then we come back up here. I think we do the 3. That'll lose an odd number, but that's okay, they can do their 3. Yellow could do 1, then red could do 5. So I think that'll work. Down to our last 3 cards. Green can do the one here. Then we have to think about how they get their 3 cards down below. But I think we're okay with that for now. You can also remember that we do have our Golem disc abilities, so we might want to remember what those do, and if we want to use them. Red's is draw a card from our deck, add it to our hand. There's nothing there, so we don't want to do that. Green can give a card to another Golem from their hand, and yellow can play a card ignoring all curses, which can definitely be pretty nice later on. Another specific thing to mention is you can only use the disc on that Golem's turn. So even if it's something like give a card to another Golem, I still have to wait till it's the green Golem's turn to do that, which is now making me forget whose turn it is. It's yellow's turn. Yellow was going to come. Ooh, we should have put... Actually, maybe we can pivot. Yellow can put a 3 here. Red can put their 4 here. But then we've messed up. 3 has to go here from yellow. So maybe we just do that now. Take care of the middle row for yellow. Red could put a 4 here. Green could have put a 5 here. Then we just have to figure out what red's going to do. So maybe let's do that. Let's put a 3 here. Odd, 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 odd. No, same color, same number. We are good. So this is going to clear. And like I do in all my previous videos, normally the discard goes down here, but I like to keep them separated, especially since we're going to be essentially doing a campaign mode, and having everything separated and set up ready to go for the next stage is going to be great. So we've done the middle row here for the yellow Golem. 5 is 7, 2, 8, or purples. I don't really know if we want to limit ourselves on too many numbers right now. I think I'm going to go with the vampire. So we'll flip that over. And before the video, these were shuffled. Again, during setup, you need to shuffle them and put them underneath. And then we reveal a new card. And we come back up top here. This goes away. And we reveal a new card. And now it is the even numbers only. We should slide this over. And, oh, that's actually another thing to mention too. When you set up the B Eternals, you cannot use the Witch Eternal. You have to make sure, in whichever mode you're playing with, beginner, standard, expert, or pro, you can never use the B Witch Eternal. There's more rules in the specific stages B and beyond. A, there's nothing really about it, but that is something that even in stage A you cannot use. The other ones I did, I rolled the D4 to determine which Eternals I was using. Okay. So, red, we could do an even number down here. Suppose we want to focus on getting this row done. We really want to get the king. So let's put the 4 here. Green will be able to do their 5, which will clear the row. All of that was ascending. These will go away. And this stays. It is only the 1. They're going to grab the king. So currently we can't play purples or 6s, which no one's going to have at the moment, so that's pretty great. That comes here. We draw a new card, and yellow is up. Ooh, let's slide these over. All right, so maybe we want to start considering storing a card. Let's see what abilities we could get. So going into storing a card in a little bit more detail, each stage you can only do this action 1 time. And that's each Golem can do it 1 time. So if I wanted the yellow Golem to do it now, they'd pick 1 card in their hand to store, and that card is removed from the game forever. Well, through this campaign. You will never see that card again. It does not get shuffled back in. It is literally stored away for the rest of the time. So what you choose now can be very detrimental potentially later on. The other thing to keep in mind is it has to be the same number or a rare card for each stage. So if I decided to store this 2, for example, from now on, for every other stage, I either have to store a 2 or a rare card for the yellow golem. The other ones can be a different number, but it's the same number across each golem. So I do have to be mindful of what number I store for one golem. I probably don't want that number to be the same for the other, because that's going to be a lot of the same number. The thing is, when you do store a card for the first 2 stages, you gain access to a new ability. And these abilities are completely different from your disc abilities. These are essentially just going to be passive abilities that are always available. You don't have to spend a disc, and even if you have both disc golems, you're still going to get access to this. You can only get 2 out of the possible 3, though, after stage A and stage B, or even during. As soon as you store a card, you get to fill in whichever ability you want. So being mindful of which ability I want to grab can also be important. So like yellow cards can be played, ignoring all curses, or refill to 4 cards at the end of your turn, or when preparing Eternals during setup, I can choose at will instead of having to roll the die, which is the normal. I get to actually pick what I want to put there. So those are the 3 options for the yellow one, which right now the yellow cards can be played ignoring all curses. Seems like a really good one. The yellow golem's ability is play a card ignoring all curses, which can be any color card, but only with your disc. So if I focus on this character when they revive things, like going for the Kraken or for the Skeleton and getting more yellow cards, that could become really handy. And this, again, applies for all stages throughout the future. So maybe I want to do that one. That seems pretty good. Again, do I want to do it right now? I'm not fully sure on the timing of when storing a card would be good or not. Obviously, since I haven't picked a number for each golem, it's pretty open. Once I pick a number, then I think that'll dictate when I want to store cards in the future. But for now, because we're just sort of experimenting and seeing what happens, let's go ahead and store a card. We're going to store, let's see, a 2, I think is what we're going to do. That is an even number. So we are taking away an even number, and even numbers are kind of hard to come by. And we've got a lot of odd numbers over here. So maybe we don't do, maybe we just wait. Maybe we wait. Let's wait until we draw one of the vampire cards. We might go with one of the 3s, just because 3s are really easy to get from the same Eternal, even though you're going to slowly be taking away from him, which could be scary. But all right, I think I talked myself out of it. We are going to wait on that. So they're just going to take their normal turn, in which case they need to do something. And that something is remembering who has the king. Okay, we can't play 6s or purples. I think whenever you have a 1, it's always good to play a 1 in the mountain. Give yourself the most opportunity to play off of that. Look at that. We have one of the 3s, so we might consider grabbing that. We only have 2 cards left with the red golem, so we need to think about finishing a row. You could put a 2 here. They could play a 3. They could play the 4. They could play their 5. So we can get this row done now. A little bit speedy, but I think it's okay. Play a 3. They're going to play their 4. New card. They're going to play a 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clears that row. And get rid of these cards. And let's see. Do we want mermaid or fairy? We're going to have a lot of yellows and some reds. Maybe, I guess actually they're both pretty complementary. I don't know if it matters too much. The 4s or the 9s. The 9s probably don't want to do with the king. Even though the 159 is going to be generating that, it still blocks one of the 9s. So let's go mermaid. Don't think it matters too much. They're going to immediately draw 3 cards. And now we come to Golem B. Their discs, as a reminder, I can pass 1 card from their hand to another Golem, which is an important thing because it doesn't spend one of our hearts. And one of the scoring criteria at the end of the stage is unspent hearts. It's only to a max of 2, so we could spend one of them and still score our 2 points. But ideally, we're trying to end the stage with having only spent 1 heart. We also have the skeleton, which can get us 1 back. So that would allow us to spend 2, play the skeleton ability to get 1 back. So just from hearts alone, we could use it twice. But this essentially gives us a pass without having to spend a heart. Don't think we need to do it just yet. We do want to hold on to these 1 and 5. We're digging for one of those 9s. That means we're playing a 4. So the 4 is going to go here. Hopefully we get the 9. Okay, we'll get the ability card. So that's going to go up here on their next turn. We have an 8, which could go here. We have a 2 that could go there. We haven't started on the bottom row at all. Oh, I can't play 4s. Mermaid does not let me play 4s. This is the one thing about this game when playing solo. It can be hard to keep track of everything. Oh, that's pretty bad because that means we can't. I think we're going to have to either spend one of our hearts then, as we were just talking about that, or use a disc, which I don't really know if I want to use the disc just yet. So I think we're going to spend that heart and pass this card. Don't think it really matters. They're technically going to have less cards. So let's do that. Then they draw back up, gets them to that. Now we have a blank slate up here. We can't play 4s or 6s. Maybe we generate one of the jewels. We have, I'd rather not use the 4, but maybe I have to. I could do 3 different colors. I could do, so that was a 4. No one else had a 4. Yeah, let's do the yellow. Yellow disc lets me play a card ignoring curses. I could spend one of the discs now to play the 4, but I don't know if that really matters at the moment. Because there's 6 jewels, I can cover the first 6 Eternals. It's really only going to be the 3 that I don't get to cover that I might want to save that for. Or again, if I need it in a pinch. I'm really trying to hold off on using things until I need it. So let's just do 3 different colors. Make sure we keep one of our even numbers. And 3 different colors. Let's see, we have a 6 here. That is the Mermaid 6. No one else has a 6. The 4 has already been taken. So let's cover up the King. So now we can start playing 6s again. They will draw 2 more cards. And comes to the red Golem. And once again, we have open board. So we need to figure out what we want to do here. We also want to start considering what are our 4 stars. Certainly going to be this one. Maybe this one based on how fast we're moving through that. Could probably get this guy pretty easily. So then it's decision. Well, we have to get this one because we got to get a 159. So we might be getting these as our 4 main focus. So what we will do is play the 2 here. Draw up. We can play 2s and greens. Perfect. And look at that. We have another one of those. So they're going to play theirs here. And the 8, which is almost a 9. Another thing, too, about the rares, part of scoring at the end, is you can score up to a max of 2 points with this, but any rares that are in the river and or in players' hands, up to 2 will score you 2 points. So we do want to find a way to make sure we can hold on to those. If they're in your deck, they don't count. They have to be essentially in a playable or reachable face-up area, if you will. So right now, we've got the 3 in the river. We're okay there. So I think I'm okay with playing this one if I wanted to. But we've got a 1. So I think, as always, we're going to slap the 1 down there, flip a new card over, come back up here. They're going to play that guy, reveal, and we're just moving right along. We got to play the 8 until we find that 9. That's going to go here. Hopefully we get the 9. There we go. So they're going to be generating that jewel. They can't play the yellow here. We should probably start the nice easy row at the bottom, but I like how potentially easy that one is. I should probably start considering storing cards. I think that's actually what I'm going to do. The yellow golem is going to store 3. So this green 3 from the vampire deck is gone. We will never see that again. And when we set up the vampire deck on the board, if it's in play that stage, we'll only have 7 cards instead of 8. But we will also take our handy sheet and put in a 3. 7 card deck it will have, but I put a 3 down there. That's going to get me 2 points when I score things at the end of the stage. It's also going to get me one of the 3 passive abilities, which I do think I want to go with the yellow cards can be ignore all curses. Yeah, that one just seems really good. So we'll pick that one. Just have to remember that that's in play. I'm trying to keep that thing off camera for now, but if I have to keep reminding myself, I might put it over here to keep in front of me. Okay, that was yellow golem stored a card, so they cannot do that again this stage. And they've got their other rare card. We have 3 of the same color. We'd have 3 cards after that. It might be a bit aggressive to do that now. I'm going to be drawing another blue card because the 2 isn't played. So they have the 5 red, other blue 7, and the blue 1, if I'm not mistaken. So I can work towards another row a little bit more before we burn through the cards. I could also, that just lets me draw a card. Doesn't really help me because I'm about to draw them into them anyways. So maybe we put the 6 here. They're going to generate the 159. They could play the 2, but I'm not getting another even card. So I'd have to get past something. The 8 yellow's already been played. They don't have an even. So it would have to be an actual pass spending one of the hearts. So I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. So maybe we start doing the shorter row with the non-consecutive. But let's do with the 7 there. Probably going to regret it, but that's what we're going to do. They're going to generate the 159, which actually going to get them a rare. Didn't think about that. So we'll play that, which will generate this guy. We're not really close to purples, so let's cover up the 4 for now. That gets us this star, which goes here. This is going to clear and get them one of the river rares. You can rotate to face that way. And new cards. These go off to the side. Okay, and that was everything. Okay, so they are now up. We could put the 2 here. We have 2 of the same number. We got to start reviving Eternals. We're going to have all the different things we want to generate. Actually, we could have them store a 5. That might not be a bad idea. Okay, let's come back here. Think we'll put the 2 yellow down there. They're down to 4 cards. If we have them store one of the 5s, we could still put another 5 here. See, their abilities. The red golem. Red cards allow you to specify any color when generating jewels, which can be very nice. So if you have 2 of the same color and then a third that's different, you could then say it's actually this color to be 3 of the same, or make it easier for the different colors. Obviously, again, a red card. So like in this case, actually, I could say this is a blue card for the purposes of 3 of the same. Now, the other one, red cards allow you to specify any number when generating jewels. Similar idea. I could say this is 3, well, I already have 2 5s here, but this was here. I could say this is 2 5s. So it allows me to change that. Both of those are really good. When you have 4 cards in hand, you can generate any of the 6 jewels. That's amazing. You have to spend all 4 cards, but then you can generate any of the jewels. So the red golem is all about jewel generation. So I like all of those. That's actually pretty good. Getting 4 cards in hand to generate any jewel could be really good for in a pickle about the 159 on future stages. But I think I can wait till maybe next time since I've already done that. So maybe I would want to focus on the numbers, because I think the next hardest one is always the 3 of a same number, especially as we're about to start storing cards. Those same numbers are going to get removed from decks. So it might be harder to generate 3 of the same number. So that one does seem pretty good. So I think I will store a card. I think we'll store the 5 blue, keep the red for the mermaid. That's going to be a 5. And we will do the allow you to specify any number when generating jewels. Okay. I don't know if that was a smart time to do this. I should probably be focusing on getting a new deck. But you got to do it at some point, right? Okay, then can't be consecutive, so we can't do the 3. We could generate one more jewel. We could do the 9. Get this guy, gets us another star. We're running dangerously low on everybody. But currently this can't be played anywhere. So let's do it. That's going to go here, gets us that star, and we're halfway there. And we only need 3 more of these. That's the thing, is that we don't have to do about anything else. We just got to get the 4 stars and these 6 jewels. Of course, to get the rest of these, we need to get 3 more Eternals. So we do need to revive 3 more. So we got to be cautious about how we do all of this. We still need the green golem to store a card at some point, which will not be this 3. Okay, so I think one of the rare cards is going to go here. Reveal a new card. I think we're going to really bring it down to the wire by having done what I've done. I think we're going to put a 6 here. Flip that. They could put the 4 here. They have no more cards. They can play a rare here. They could do any of their cards there, essentially. And then that just means we got to figure out how we get this row for one of these. We might have to start passing. We're figuring out how to use these discs. Get those to the red golem. But it's the yellow golem's turn, right? Green played the 4. I'm pretty sure. I need a little turn marker. Normally when I'm playing by myself, it's a lot easier, but having to do things on video, talking through things. Okay. Let's do the 5. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got a lot of higher numbers. The red is a problem. We got a lot of red going on. They're going to play the rare, so that's pretty much spoken for. We could put a 3 blue here. Let's do that to try and help out the rest of them. 5, 7. This is a problem. Ooh, this is scary. Okay. We're up here. We might have red complete the bottom row because they can draw cards and then pass 1. If we do 5, rare 7, that's not going to be far enough. Okay, let's see. They want yellow. I am unsure what I want to do here. I think the red 5 will go there. Nothing's consecutive. Okay, let's do that. This might be a mistake, but we'll see shortly. This is gone. We want, I think, the Minotaur. I won't be able to play blues or blue-yellows. We don't have any greens. The Kraken really should have gone to them. That's not that bad. They could take the Mummy, and then we could pass the Mummy ability card if we get it soon enough to allow card drawing. Let's do that. Okay. More blues. these slide over. This gets revealed. The lake. All right, always fun. Okay, they just went. They are now up. Either one of them can complete the middle row. If we put the rare here, and then that could be 4, this could be 5, 7, rare. So rare now, 5 from them, 7 from them. The rare would have to be here, so the 3 can go down there. They'd be out of cards. Whew, that is scary. That is very scary. Let's do it. Oh, this is a bad idea. So many bad ideas. Okay, so then the 7 goes here. The 3 is a red down there. The rare, oh, they should draw their card. The rare goes up here. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, or 9. Good. This was the yellow golem. So this comes up. None of those were yellow cards. Yes. Yellow, blue. Okay. Fairy. 1, 2, 3. And let's separate these real quick. That is one of the rares. Let's go here. Okay, so they have no cards, so we're going to have to pass them something. We did just get an even. That's fantastic. So we pass that. That comes here. We draw. That's also cool. This goes here on the red side. Even, 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 even. No colors or numbers next to each other. We're good with that. That's going to be these guys. And that was the green golem. We didn't just play a 9, so we're good there. 5, 7, 2, and 8. What colors and things? The ghost ability lets everyone draw 1 card. We do need to do the skeleton. We're about to have 3. We're going to get pretty close to this one. So we really need to get that heart back to get our points. So it's going to be the skeleton that we're going to grab. 1, 2, 3. All the purples. Okay, this goes away. We get a new thing. Now we have cave. Okay. So that was them. They have 2 of the same number. We're going to get that jewel here. 3 of the same numbers could be potentially difficult. It was the red golem. I can specify red cards to be any number. The mummy does have red cards. So maybe I'll do this ability, actually try to draw a red card, say it's a 1, and do the harder 3 of the same number. I like that idea. I just need to make sure after I get this star, I'm going to get this star. So those are my 2 stars. Okay, I think we're actually pretty good. I always say it looks scary, and it kind of does. I'm not sure how good we're doing, but okay. We need to come up with 3 different colors and 2 of the same number. The fairy deck has another 1. So let's play these 3s and 8s. Let's put the 8 here. Flip that over. What does their disc do again? Their disc is they ignore curses. I just played an 8. We're going to have played our disc. So let's ignore that curse. Also, we have to remember we can't play yellows or yellow blues. But they're going to trigger the mummy ability card, which lets us draw 3 cards from any player's deck, 1 at a time. We'll start with ours. Good, we got the card we needed. I think we'll take 1 from here. And then we'll just take another one from our own. Okay, that was their turn. We're now up here. Theirs is pass a card to somebody. Don't necessarily need to do that right now. We could do 3 of the same color. Did I say 3 different color before? It's 3 same color. Let's just do that. 1, 2, 3. 3 of the same color. Let's block off. I don't really know how much it matters. The yellows for potentially the skeleton, because that's what they're about to draw. So let's cover that up. We do have to be mindful now of the rares. We're going to end up getting one of those. And then we need a second rare somewhere in our hand to get the 2 points for the rares. Since we don't have Medusa, that was the one that we rolled that was removed. We don't have any way to get the river rare back onto the table. Let's see here. Let's draw these. And we're going to get our pass back, so that's good. The yellow golem is going to... Let's see. They're doing 3 of the same. And we said we were going to dig for that 1. So right now, red, we could do a blue. We can't play 2s. I could do my disc again. I think that's what we're going to do. We're digging for this card, which is in their deck. And then we're digging for the 1. So it's this character that needs to get it together. So we'll just do that for now. Perfect. We got this. So now we're going to do this guy. It's a passive ability for this golem. Red cards allow you to specify any number when generating jewels. And actually, now that I think about it, I need to double check. I think the 2 colored cards are okay. Now that I'm second guessing it. No, abilities that specify the use of red, green, or yellow cards cannot be replaced with 2 color cards. So I actually can't use this one. The mummy does not have a solid red card. So we're going to have to pivot. It's a good thing I checked that. As I was saying it didn't seem right. Okay. Well, maybe I should have done the 4 card one. Whoops. I could still do 2 of the same number. I could also have them pass a 1 over here. We'll then just have to figure out what number. We have 2 4s in the skeleton deck. I already played a 4 over there. This might be annoying. We might have to revive another Eternal. Well, I think let's just do 2 of the same. As silly as it would be, we could play a single card to the river, getting the rare, which would then give us 3. If we're going to get that anyways, we'd be generating 5 more cards that would get us another rare. That's a bit annoying. I think we need to do 2 of the same first before we consider that. So, if that's the case, this needs to be green, which I have a green here. I don't draw up since I already have enough cards. They're going to play this, which will get us one of our spent hearts back. They're down to 3 cards. We have a rare, so we're going to hold on to that rare. They're going to play this card, which goes up here and gets us that star. Just making sure that's 7. Didn't break any curses. We draw this. Oh, we still don't like what we've got. I think we have to do the 2 right now. That's not great. They also have to store a card. I do 2 of the same number. All I gotta do is generate these and we're good. This gets us the win. But to maximize our points, we need to keep rares. I really can't pass that 1, because then we're going to lose out on the heart. What to do if we play, that's a yellow. They need to complete this. The Berserker could get a rare back if we played the rare somewhere. This has to be a red. which the mummy has, and it can't pass it. The only yellows is just the problem. The yellows is not the color to end the row. I suppose they could be the ones to play the rare. I don't think we're going to get 2 rares. I think that's our problem. All right, we're going to do this. We're spending too much time on it. We're going to play 2 of the same number. These will go here. We're going to cover up the 9, since that's potentially a card we can play. I think the 2 and the 8 have already been played. Okay, these clear, which goes to them. And these cards go away. And now they're up. All we need is 3 of the same number. They need to tuck a card or store a card. Their abilities could be green card, 1, 5, or 9 can be given to a golem without a heart. They don't have any greens. During setup, you can put 2 random blue starting deck cards at the bottom of your deck, or you can add 1 blue disc to your supply so you have more discs. That could be very helpful for later, but not great now. But they need to tuck something. And those are their only cards. They're going to run out. I think we're going to lose out on the point from the heart. They're going to tuck the 9. And we're going to write that down. A 9 is a very spicy number to pick. Getting rid of a good high number. Let's see. That's going to make the green 1, 5, 9 ability kind of annoying since they're going to lose out on 9s. I think we're going to do during setup put 2 random blue cards at the bottom of the deck because that just seems great to have more cards to start with. That is their turn. We come over here and we need 3 of the same number, which their deck, we could get the 1. It's not great. Not great. Red, that's green. Yellow, red. Yellow and red. We can do the yellow. Comes here. I don't think we're going to have 3 of the same number. Yeah, the not having that 2-color card being the 1 color is not good. Let's see. If we get a new deck, we can grab some 5s from the Kraken. But they're going to only have 2 cards. They need to be the one who gets it. All right. I think the best way to do this is to pass a card. That golem. We draw. There's a 1. 1. They could get a 1. So should have remembered there was a 1. That's okay. Let's see. We play. We give a card. We give a card right back. I can give 2 cards. Actually, that's true. I just do both discs. Give them both away. Oh, those are rare cards, though. We can't. We need to keep both of them. We need to keep one of them for the 2 rares. Okay. So no one has a 3. Golem, the mummy has a 3, which was not played. So there is a 3 in here. So we could. No, that's not going to work. I think I'm delaying the inevitable. I'm trying to save some points here, but I don't think I'm going to get the points I need. So we spend the rare here. That keeps both our rares, gets them a new deck, gives us a better chance of getting 3 of the same number. I think that's the way we're going to do it. Red, blue, green, yellow, red. They want, and that was a rare, which is fine to have played, just 2s and 8s. It's going to have to be the Minotaur. Submit their card. Okay, then we come here. That goes away. Get a new one. Well, that's at least good for that guy. Suppose if we really wanted to risk it, we could try to complete this road 2 more times, generate the 4th lap bonus to get our passes back, but I think we can just abandon that point. Let's see. We're going for the 1s. The Berserker could get a card and swap a card. Let's do 6 and 7 can't be played there. The 1, oh wow, that's really bad. I think they just have to play down to here, and hopefully I remember that that is a 1. Okay, cool. So I don't know how we get this 1 without the passing though. The Berserker has a 1. Wait, that's how we do it. We play the 1 here. We draw back up, which we can play that. Then they play this here, which replaces, and you can use your disc before or after your main action. They will spend their disc to pass the 1 over. And then we have 3 1s, which get generated down there for 3 of the same number to go here, which gets us our 4-star and all 6 jewels. Oh boy, that was a little bit tougher than I anticipated. I think the focus on making sure I stored a card, and again, as you saw, the misremembering how the color card worked for that. But okay, so we have successfully completed the stage at least. We got our 4 stars and our 6 jewels. So we can go to scoring. So I'll probably just put a little picture of it actually here so it might be easier to see what I'm doing as I'm explaining it. But the first thing you'll look at is how many stars did you gain? For stage A, you had to get 4 stars to even be able to complete it. Future stages, stars aren't a requirement anymore. They're the keys. So you can potentially get less than 4. But for every star that you get, you are going to draw on the dotted line. You don't fill the star in just yet. Just trace the outline of the star dotted line. Then the number of stars you put in that top box, you'll write that number. So in this case, we got 4. But if you only did 1, 2, or 3, you'd write that as well. If you got 5 or 6 stars, you still only put a max of 4. Every stage, no matter which one it is, you can only max out at 4. For the hearts, you can get a max of 2 points. These are for every unspent heart. In this case, we unfortunately only got 1, so we'll put that in here. And then for rare cards, up to a max of 2, based on being in the river and or in your hand. So in this case, we had 1 in the river, 1 in hand, for a total of 2. If we had more than that, we would just max out at 2. And you can see that little number in the bottom right-hand corner reminds you of all of those. You then have that larger box with an 8 in it. That's adding all these up. So 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 out of the possible 8 points for that. If we had a game over, so let's say we lost this stage, you are allowed to play it 1 more time. And if you do win on the second time, you'll just put in this game over box the -1 point. So you'd lose a point for having failed 1 time. If you failed a second time, you're forced to move on to the next stage, and you just get 0 for that stage. It's not good to have failed twice. So in this case, though, we got 7 out of 8 points on stage A. There are other points that we essentially got this stage, the 2 points from each card we stored, but we'll calculate that as a final score after all 5 stages are completed. And then there are other things along the line that we're going to add up once all 5 stages are done. So let's go into those stars that we just outlined. What you can do pretty much at any point from this moment on, you can color in one of those stars to give one of your golems an upgrade. So you would color in the star and then you would color in one of the diamonds. You can, again, do this at any time. I could do this right now in between stages. You can also do it during a stage. So maybe I realize all of a sudden I need the red golem to be able to play a card ignoring all curses. Right in the middle of stage B, I can cross out any previous star, so anything from stage A, fill in the diamond under the red golem, and then now I have that ability. I'm not going to fill any of these out now because every unfilled star is also worth a point at the end of the game. So the more you hold back on using these abilities or upgrading these abilities, the more points you're going to earn. So there is that maybe a little annoying thing to think about, because obviously upgrading these discs to make them better is great, but if you want to have the best score, you don't want to spend them. Essentially, this is a score the best points you can get kind of thing. So once all 5 stages are done, the perfect score is 100, which as you see, we've already failed. I can only get 99, but there's ranges that you can get. So there is essentially a 10-point wiggle room before you go from like the perfect score down below. So I have 9 more points of wiggle room that I could not gain to still get the perfect score. So knowing that I can save these stars or spend some of those stars because I have some wiggle room, maybe I can wait a little bit later. Anyway, that is how all of scoring works for those stages. In stage B, there's going to be something slightly different, which I'll go over in that next video. Otherwise, that's pretty much everything for this one, and we will catch you on the next video.